video. Hello, this is Carminha, aka Beauty Diva. And today I'm going to present you a video extension, which is going to be a little different from other videos. Taped about a year ago while I was getting the eyelash extension. So my friend Alyssia, she's a certified cosmetologist and also an lash expert extension person. So she did my lashes and we taped it. We didn't get a chance to actually do an intro together. So she does her work here in Southern California. So if you are interested, I'm gonna have all her information in the description box. So you can contact her if you are interested in getting eyelash extensions. So throughout the video, she talks about price point, how to take care of your lashes, how often you have to get them done, etc, etc. So you get a little overview. And if you end up liking the video and you have any more questions about eyelash extensions, please leave them in the description box, and hopefully in the future we can do like a Q&A and we both can create another video so you can get your questions answered. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I did my best on editing it. It was like 45 minutes and I got it down to 20. So I got all the important information. So if you like these kind of videos, please thumbs this one up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And share the video with friends and family and anybody else you know. So I leave you now with the video of Alyssia, my friend, doing my eyelash extensions. So goodbye.
So this is gonna be Alyssia and Carmina's lash tutorial. Basically what I'm gonna be doing today is I'm gonna be doing a full set classic 1-to-1 set for her. First, the first couple steps are you consult with your client and see what they want. We're gonna be doing a winged out look today. We're gonna be using C.15, 12 through 10, D curl. Actually not C, D. She wants a winged out look, so the longest length is going to go ahead and be on the outer corner and then titrate down to a smaller lash. You want to map your style. So what I normally do is I start from the outer corner and I like to find the lash. I normally try to find the lashes on the bottom rows because those are the ones that they see first. So basically, you find the lash, you isolate it, then you grab the lash length that you're going to use, you dip it in the glue, and you coat the lash, wrapping it, placing it onto the natural lash. And you basically want to hold it, for a little bit just so the other natural lashes don't get stuck onto the newly placed extension. And then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. I like to start from the outer corner. I'm going to do the same thing. Should I turn the music off? No? And then I like to go a little bit farther in. So we already did that outer corner. So I'd pick up this piece of tape because her lashes kind of point down. So when you pull the tape up, it helps. So then once again, you're gonna go ahead and look for the lashes on the bottom row. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but I have this one lash isolated. I'll pull it a little bit closer to see if you could see that one lash. I'm gonna grab the extension again. It's already dipped. I'm gonna coat it, wrap it, and I kind of like to move it over a little bit just so it's angling the right direction. Hold it apart a little bit so none of the other natural lashes get stuck, because that's the most important part besides that actual application of the lash, is making sure that none of the other natural lashes get stuck to the extension. Basically, if it gets stuck to the extension, it can pull out the other lashes prematurely, which could damage your lash growth. And she's gonna be getting the cat eye. So for the cat eye look, the longest length is on the outer corner. And you do that because if you put the longest lash, you know, past the outer corner, it changes it to a different style. So the winged out look is always the longest length in the outer corner, and you could do it with any length. She's getting a 12. You could do it with 15s, 11s. If somebody wants a really natural one, what I like to do is I like to put the longest length to mid lash and then titrate down to a smaller lash because it looks a little bit more natural, not as dramatic. Oh well, you guys could see this, but I'm literally placing it to one little individual eyelash. Like this one, it likes to point the other way, so I'm going to try to kind of move it before the glue dries so it can kind of face, kind of be angled a little bit in a different direction. Now, Carmenia doesn't have the most, you know, voluminous lashes, but she does have strong, healthy lashes. So a classic 1-to-1 set is great for her. She doesn't want anything too dramatic or too crazy. She wants something that she could add on to a dramatic look or also still do her natural look tutorials. So doing a classic 1-to-1 is always what I recommend for somebody who wants to do either or. Russian volume is a lot more dramatic, a lot more artificial looking, which I love. You know, Carmenia knows I like to.
Those are the ones you're wearing?
Yeah, I had the Russian volume.
Oh.
So Russian volume is basically, instead of me putting this one extension on, I'm going to be placing 5-to-1 extensions.
Ooh.
Depending on how much that one lash can hold. So it could be 5, it could be 2, it could be 4, it could be 3.
Ooh.
And then you don't use as heavy of a lash. You use a lot lighter lash. In lighter, I mean the weight. The weight of those 5 to that 1 would only equal 1 of these. If you place an extension that's too heavy on somebody's natural lash, it could potentially damage it. So you always want to make sure that whatever length you're using and whatever diameter you're using is the right amount for your client's natural lashes. And one thing that I like to do for some of my clients that don't want, you know, super artificial looking lashes but feel like their 1-to-1 just isn't enough, I do half and half. So I'll do like, I'll map half of it volume and then I'll map in between those 1-to-1s. That way they have a little bit of both. And most people, when they do the half and half, they like the volume on the outer corner because most people want it really full on the outer corner. Me personally, when I get my extensions done, I don't really want too many on the very inner corner just because they bother me. Application takes about an hour and a half. For somebody like Carmenia, it'd probably take me about an hour and 15 minutes. She doesn't really have that many. So since we're doing a classic 1-to-1, I could only make them as full as what she naturally has. So for example, if somebody has 150 eyelashes and 50 of them are baby hairs, which would mean hairs that are not ready to be lashed. They're not fully grown and developed, so we don't lash to those. Then that would mean I only have to lash 100 lashes if she wants the volume at her fullest. Everybody has a different speed. If I do somebody who has like, you know, it really just depends. You know, a lot of my clients, we get chit-chatty, so it could take a little bit longer, but if you're really focusing and you're, you know, going back and forth, you should be able to get like you know, a natural set of lashes in about an hour and 15 minutes. Somebody who has like super volume and like they want to get them really crazy and super full, it might take an hour and a half. And then as you notice, as I go farther in, I'm using a shorter lash. I'm using a D curl on her because her natural lashes kind of point down. So when somebody's eyelashes point down, I like to use this tape to kind of lift them up, because if you don't use the tape and you try to isolate their lash, it's going to be a lot harder, because when you isolate it, it's going to be touching the tape. So when you go to put the extension on it, the extension is going to get stuck to the tape, because you're not going to have a clear view of the like behind the lash.
And how much does this cost?
So I charge $250 for a house call. It's for a classic set. If I do a house call for Russian volume, it's $350. And the fills are half the price of the full sets. The fills take 45 minutes. And I also don't like to fill on somebody who has less than 50% of what I originally put on them. You know, when I used to work at a lash lounge, people would come in with like 10 eyelashes on, 10 extensions, and I would have to do as much as I could in the 45 minutes to make them look normal again. There are other places that are a lot cheaper, but I also go to your home, and I have top of the line lashes. The ones that she's getting right now are faux mink. They're really soft. They're a lot more flexible than some of the other extensions that people use. Some people use a polyester lash, which is really, they look a lot more fake. They're not as soft. They're not as flexible. I mean, I liked them, but I definitely like the mink more. I feel like the mink is more comfortable. I can't feel them as much. And for somebody who is getting extensions for the first time and they say, well, can you feel them? For somebody who's never had them, I feel like you could feel them for like the first like 5 minutes and then you just forget. A lot of people ask me, how do you do this? I'm like, I have no idea. But I really do. I do enjoy it. For me, it's kind of calming. I mean, you kind of like, you really have to focus the whole time that you do it. So it's not like you can, you know, we all have lives and we think about everything. When I'm lashing, you're just like in a zone, you know? Isolate, lash, next. Isolate, lash, next. It's just, you know, for any girls who are like, oh, I've seen it, I always wanted to try it. You know, me personally, when I first started, I really didn't have a desire to do it at all. It was just, it happened to be something that was going to be flexible with my schedule. They said I didn't need any experience. It was close to my house, and I luckily really enjoyed it, and I got really good at it. So if any of you think that it might be something that you'd be interested in, I definitely say go ahead and try it. In the beginning, it is kind of frustrating because it looks a lot easier than it actually is. But once you do it, you know, like with anything, it just becomes like second nature.
So how do you care for these lashes?
Okay. So, yes, Carmenia Lake knows everything about tutorials. So, basically, for the first 24 hours, you cannot wet your lashes at all. That means you can't shower. People are like, well, what if I just put my back to the shower? No, you can't put your back to the shower. The heat of the whole shower experience counts as moisture because, of course, as you all know, when you get out of the shower, it's all misty and moist inside the shower, so that counts as moisture. After the 24 hours, your lashes are fully waterproof and you could do anything that you would normally do. When I wash my face though, when I have extensions, I take a washcloth, I dip the washcloth, and I wash my face. I don't splash water on my face just because of the, I guess you could say, the force of the water hitting your face. So after the 24 hours when you are able to wash your face or wash your hair, after you get out of the shower, excuse me, you know, you dry your body off. By the time you're done drying off and putting on your clothes, I give you guys a mascara wand. It looks like this. Before you leave the service, just like a little basic mascara wand, nothing fancy. Mine are pink because I love pink. You are going to take the mascara wand, and after you let your lashes kind of dry a little bit, you're going to just brush them from the top down like this. People think if you brush them from the bottom, oh, I'm brushing them. No, to actually brush them out, you have to brush from, you know, not all the way at the base, but, you know, to kind of just get them brushed out. Just like that. And you do that, just, you don't need to continue doing it over and over again or anything, just a few times, just so they could dry separated. And you want to make sure that you're not brushing them when they're like completely wet. You want to wait a little bit until they're a little bit more dry, because the bond of the glue is the weakest when they're wet. Also, you want to try to avoid steam rooms and saunas. When you sweat, so sweat and tears have the most amount of natural oils, and you want to use oil-free products when you have extensions. So if you wear eyeshadow, eyeliner, any of that, you want to make sure that you are using oil-free makeup remover to remove them. If you have a moisturizer, you want to make sure that you're applying it everywhere around your face, but not over your lashes. So you want to make sure that you're not using mascara, because it has oils in it that break down the adhesive of the bond that, you know, I'm using on you guys. Right now I'm using a sensitive adhesive. I use sensitive adhesive for 90% of my clients. Anybody who's just starting out, you definitely want to get a glue that has a longer dry time. And basically what I'm doing is when I'm applying it, it looks like I'm applying it onto the skin, but I'm applying it very, very, very close to the skin, but about a millimeter away from the skin. You can't, this glue cannot touch the skin because it's very potent and it can damage, it can really irritate the skin. Some people do have reactions to it. Not specifically to my glue. I haven't had anybody have a reaction to this adhesive, but I know when I used to work at a lounge, there were some people that have gone to other places and they've gotten reactions. And you know, I've also had people that came to me for 6 months and then all of a sudden they started getting a reaction. So everybody's body is different. We can't guarantee that you won't get a reaction, but we can definitely guarantee the result of the look.
I don't feel anything.
Yeah, so it's
all gonna feel.
It's painless. People are always like, it looks like you're doing surgery. But if I had to have the basics, lashes and brows are a must. Even when I don't have brows and I like wake up, I'm like, I woke up like this because I look so pretty. And you do. You really just look like you're awake, ready to go. A lot of my clients say it cuts down their, you know, getting ready time by like 15 minutes.
Oh.
A lot of women spend a lot of time on their mascara.
Oh, I see. Curling.
Putting 3, 4, 5 coats.
Yeah.
And on top of that, in the evening time, it's another 15 minutes to take it off and wash your face. And it's also a lot of rubbing on your eyes, a sensitive part of your face that you could avoid doing just by getting eyelash extensions. It is somewhat pricey. It's definitely considered a luxury service, but if you have something in your life that you feel is not as necessary, like fast food, you know, that's not good for you. Are lashes good for you? Yes. Is fast food good for you? No. So cut out your $80 worth of fast food in the month and get lashes. You might be surprised at what you find in the mirror in the morning. So it lasts about 3 weeks, and then you would get a fill after 3 weeks. Yes. So most people's lashes, depending on how well you take care of them, last about 2 to 3 weeks before, because remember, your lashes fall out once a month.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's lashes fall out at different times. It's not like, oh, all of our lashes are falling out at the same time. So about every 2.5, 3 weeks, you lose a few, and then you get your fill. That's why you always want to make sure that you're going to somebody who cares about the integrity of your lashes. I've seen some pretty, I guess you could call it botched, but for your eyelashes. People are putting extremely heavy lashes onto these little frail lashes just because it looks good. Your lashes could hold them, but it's gonna break them off eventually. People that have allergies, you know, I would definitely say it's not the best thing for you guys unless you're on like a medication that helps them so your eyes aren't watering all the time. Also, a lot of people ask, well, I'm going through chemo, can I still get this? You know, because I might lose my eyelashes. So the thing with that is we can still do it. As long as you have something, we could do it. Can we guarantee that it will be as full as what you're picturing? No, but a lot of, you know, I have a few clients that are just finished chemo or going through chemo, and you know, it's also something that in the time and, you know, in that moment that they're experiencing, you know, people think, oh, it's just all for beauty. No, some people are going through something that is very, you know, damaging to their, you know, their spirit, and being able to get something as little as eyelashes makes them feel a little bit better. Like, I honestly, like, I came home crying one day. I was like, yeah, I suck.
Oh.
You know, I don't like this. Nobody likes me. Everybody thinks I'm slow. And I was really slow when I first started. So for any of you girls who are discouraged, if you just started lashing or if you want to lash but you think you might suck, go ahead and suck, okay? I feel like I had an amazing technique, but
you're very slow.
But I was very slow. And my best suggestion for anybody who just started lashing is to just lash every day. Every single day, lash. Lash as many people as you can in the day when you first start, because if you don't do that, you're not going to get any better. It's like a lash lounge, just like an hour and 30 minutes. And then what I like to do is I have this little pink hand fan, and throughout the service I kind of dry, because the glue is pretty strong. So I kind of just dry it. This is the fan. It's a no blades fan.
So?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, people always ask me, can you do this to yourself? Like, no.
No, because you gotta keep your eyes closed.
You have to keep your eyes closed. And the fumes are really strong, so trying to open your eye while placing a lash onto one lash seems dangerous and impossible at the same time. But like I said, I really enjoy lashing. I also do makeup. I used to work at a department store with Carmenia. This is how we met. And you know, I think when you find that knack or that, you know, passion that you like, I just always like to tell people, just go for it. Even if it's something that, like, you know, like, okay, everybody in my family is like in the medical field,
Yeah,
you know, and I'm over here doing lashes.
Yeah, I know.
And people, you know,
criticize
you and, oh, she just this, or
why is she not doing something more
or
important?
like it's not rocket science,
yeah,
you know,
but you're helping people. I always told you that.
Yeah, and I really feel like
you feel good when you look good. So.
Yeah, you feel good when you look good, and I've met so many amazing women since I started lashing, and you know, for all you YouTubers that feel like, you know, I don't want to do this because people might think this. Well, you know what? Who cares what anybody else thinks? Just do it. If it makes you happy, that's all that matters.